Hi there, hope you're having a good day so far. I just wanted to give you a quick update on where we've got to with this legal case. But before I do that, I've got some really important information that you need to know about our mission here. I just want to thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very, 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 very much. I've been overwhelmed by the support. Knowing that the art community is behind this and behind me fighting this means the world. The fact that we understand that we don't want to live in a world where big corporations like this can sue artists like us for painting our hands blue, for sharing colours with other artists on the internet means a lot. The fact that the community won't stand for that sort of behaviour. And we have a real chance together actually to fight this all the way and set a precedence. This never ever happens to another artist again. Personally, it is stressful. I'm under a lot of pressure. I am struggling with it. But knowing you're there is egging me on and giving me the confidence to keep fighting the good fight. Saying all that, things have changed a little bit in the last week. I'm a lot clearer about the legal case. I'm a lot clearer about what we need to do together to actually win this thing. And there's quite a lot to do. So I just want to go into some of the specifics on that. First of all, I'm not actually allowed to use the name of the person that I've been sued for. You all know what that is anyway. So from now on, I'm just going to say the name as that blue paint guy. So what's actually transpired now, we've worked it all out. Basically, the son of the blue paint guy sues everyone all the time. I'm not new. They like to make money. They seem to be very driven by that. They go under the sort of misconception or the pretense that they're protecting a legacy, but of course they're not, because nobody wants their father's legacy to have been, oh, he was very litigious and horrible and went after artists for expressing themselves. They're not interested in the legacy, they're interested in money. And there's a secondary company that's part of suing me who actually own the trademark licensing, and they give that name out to paint companies and things, and actually they don't really care about the quality of those materials. They just sort of slap the name on anyone who will give them money. And the fact is, I didn't give them money, and that's why they're upset. So that's what's happening. I'm in a lot of trouble. I've spoken to the lawyers. I'm not really allowed to be kind of making fun of this or parodying this or doing what I'm doing online. They think it could sort of go against us. So I'm going to have to rein it in a little bit going forward. So that means, unfortunately, the paintings I made, which I put on the website to try and raise some significant funds to get us in the game, are going to have to be removed in a couple of days. So if you did want one, or you know someone who's wealthy enough to buy one, then please do, because that could really, 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 really help us massively to get through this. Otherwise, I'm going to have to take them down. And likewise with the t-shirts I made, even though they don't have the name, because I used the capital letter L in the middle of the word I can't say, I could be in trouble with that. Another infringement. So for now, they're there, but they're not going to be there for much longer. So if you did want a t-shirt for the campaign and you wanted to support that way, then go ahead and do that. I'll put a link below to both the paintings and the t-shirts for you to look at. The money side of it is quite complicated, and actually this is the thing that's really stressing me out the most. Although the community have been really supportive, I mean, there's been some amazing donations. All of you have given what you can, and we're grateful for it. Quite honestly, we've got so far to go to hit the target of what this is going to cost. It's not going to be cheap. We're talking about international law here. We're talking about IP lawyers. To do it properly and actually have a chance of winning, we're going to need some fuel. And I think that's what they sort of bank on. Artists like us not being able to afford to fight the fight, so we back down, and that's how they kind of get away with it. Sort of a strategy to run us out of cash so that they win. Anyway, what it's looking like at the moment, because the French system is a little bit different, because this is all happening in France, essentially the judgment that they have against me, that court document, is a bit scary, because unlike in the UK, I have to pay that in full before I can lodge an appeal against it. And if I win, I might get my money back, or I might not. So it's still a gamble. So that needs to be paid, and that's already more than we've raised so far. I think that's about something like, translated, about 18,000 and we're only halfway there to that. So we have to pay that, and then I have to pay the UK lawyers some money and the French lawyers some money, and then we lodge the appeal. So where we stand at the moment is we've got about 2 to 3 weeks left to lodge that appeal, which means we have to pay this within that amount of time. Now, we might not. And if we don't, we'll obviously be working out how we can allocate the money that we've raised to doing something else around this that helps artists and make sure the paint can continue to be available. Meanwhile, I've done a couple of things that I wanted to tell you about. First of all is the Easy Paint itself. I've crossed out the surname of the blue paint guy, and likewise here, same here. So basically this isn't infringing anymore. So for now, if you do order the paint, you're going to get it like this, and I'm sorry it's scribbled out, but that's the best we can do until we can reorder all the boxes, and I don't want to waste money ordering new boxes when we've got plenty of beautiful boxes already. So that's that. The next thing I've done is I've actually banned Blue Paint Guy's descendants from buying this on the website. Similar terms that you've probably heard before, but I just want to fill you in. We've got this now on the website. This blue paint has absolutely nothing to do with the late conceptual artist famous for painting blue squares. It is a unique formulation by British artist Stuart Semple, and it is. The recipe of that paint is my own, and they're not arguing about that. It is important to understand this paint has not been made by the late conceptual artist famous for painting blue squares, and is not in any way endorsed by his family or the commercial owners of his trademark. By adding this paint to your cart, you confirm that you are not an heir or beneficiary of, beep, beep, I'm beeping it out so I'm not allowed to say it, the late conceptual artist famous for painting blue squares, nor will this material make its way into the hands of an heir or beneficiary of, can't say it again. To the best of your knowledge, information and belief, this material will not make its way into the hands of, can't say it, heirs or beneficiaries. So that's what we've done for now. We're going to keep the fight up. If you can support in any way, if you can donate more, brilliant. If you can't, don't worry. If you've done enough, just help spread the word. Draw people's attention to what's going on. Help them understand what's happening. People are confused. They don't quite understand the nuance of this, why this matters. They think it's petty. They think it's insignificant. It really, 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 really isn't. This is how it starts. If people like this can get away with doing things like this, we're going to live in a future that is going to be very, very bleak, at least for artists. And we need to fight this, and we can win this. We've got a very, very strong case. We just need to raise enough to actually get that case through. So if you can, go and get the t-shirt, get one of the paintings before they go, before I have to take them down. Otherwise, if you can donate more, do that. If you can't do any of those things, just tell everybody. Spread the word. We can light a fire under this. We can make a campaign around this, but I need your help. I can't do all of it on my own. I'm fighting as hard as I can. I'm doing everything I can. So thank you for your support. Thank you for being there. I'll keep you posted every step of the way. We are in this together, all the way through to that court hearing in Paris. And I will go there and I will do justice for all the artists, and I will tell the judge how it is. And I've got a strong feeling that we're going to win together as a community. Meanwhile, if you see the artist's work, the guy who's famous for the blue squares, you see them in a museum, you see them in a book, call him out. Let's let his heirs and beneficiaries know that they're doing something very bad for this guy's reputation, actually turning him into this. He was a brilliant conceptual thinker. He was a true avant-garde, trailblazing rebel who did some of the most progressive work the world has ever seen. He laid the foundation for conceptual art. Most of us, me included, wouldn't be here without him. He is literally one of my heroes. So the fact that it's being turned into this by greedy people who want to make money off the back of someone else's name and their hard work is disgusting. and we won't stand for it. So thank you very much. Thanks for being there. Let's keep going. Love you loads. Bye.